Hi, I'm Judy Litt. You may have caught a couple of vlogs from me, vlogs, however you want to pronounce them. And one was why you want to activate your glutes before you run. The other was where you'll find your gluteus medius. I didn't feel the need to tell you where to find your gluteus maximus. I think most people know where that is. And if you haven't caught them, I will link up with them somewhere. And for this very short practice on activating your glutes, we're actually going to get into that. You're going to need one band. You can also use a resistance band, and you can knot that to make it wider and make it narrower. It's the last thing we're going to do. You'll need one band. Hopefully Bandit doesn't run off with it. Doesn't live up to his name there. So I want you to, we're going to get right into it. Bandit, you're kind of in my way, bud. Go ahead and bring the soles of your feet to your mat. And then bring yourself down all the way onto your back. We're going to start out with a bridge, but it's not going to be the standard yoga bridge. Normally in our standard yoga bridge, we have our feet as close to our glutes as we can get. In this case, we're taking them out about 5 to 6 inches. And we're going to inhale, we're going to exhale, and then you're really going to push into your heels to help bring you up and hopefully feel those glutes turning on. So taking, Bandit, sweetie. Yeah, gonna nudge you a little bit. That's a good boy. There you go. Oh, buddy. Move, 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 move. Come, Bandit. Yeah. Bandit, you're completely blocking what's going on, bud. Okay. So soles of the feet are on the mat, knees are pointing towards your ceiling or the sky. Arms are alongside your body. Just inhale here. Let's inhale. Exhale. A couple more times just to drop into your body. Inhale. Exhale. And one last time. Inhale. Exhale. Now inhale. Your next exhale, really push into those heels. Take your hands to your glutes. Can you feel those glutes beginning to turn on without actually trying to contract them? And exhale down. We're going to do this about 10 times. Inhale, pushing into the heels. You know, always, like I said, you can tap those glutes. It always helps to bring awareness to the body part that you're trying to work. Push into the heels to come up. Trying to keep the knees yearning towards each other, not splaying out. Exhale, come down. Push into those heels to rise. Really thinking about your glutes, bringing your attention, your breath right there. Speaking of intentions, my intentions for you for this quick practice is to turn your glutes on, strengthen those glutes. Halfway there, pushing in those heels to come on up. And perhaps your intention is to stay injury-free. The slower you go, the deeper you go. Exhale down. And where do you feel this in your body? You can probably feel your hamstrings a little bit. And see if you can, on the next one, really push into those heels. Take the sensation mostly out of the hamstrings and put it into your glutes. 3 more. Last two. Make sure you're breathing. Make sure you're not holding that breath. Last one. Push into those heels. Feel those glutes come alive. Exhale down. Go ahead and heel toe your feet out as wide as your mat, and then just let your hips drop side to side. Your knees drop side to side. Just a little release. And here we go, moving on to our second move. Heel toe those feet back in, bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees drop open so that they're pointing out towards either side of the room or either side of your mat. You're in reclined butterfly pose, as we call it in yin, but this is not a yin practice. So inhale, bring those legs up, push into the soles of the feet, and guess what? Come on up a little bit. Exhale down. Where are you feeling this one? Inhale, feet really push together. Hopefully you're feeling it kind of on the side here. A little bit of glute med, a little bit of glute max. Coming up slowly. Coming down slowly. Make sure you're not getting into your low back. And just draw your abs in a little bit if you feel that happening to protect that low back. A little extra ab work is never a bad thing. And this obviously isn't a really big motion. We don't always need huge motions to get a lot of benefit. And last three. You need to take a break, of course, always take a break. Listen to your body. Last two. Last one, really push into the soles of those feet. Feeling the sides of your glute really coming alive. I'm sure you're thanking me right about now. And exhale down. Go ahead and once again, heel toe your feet out as wide as your mat and just let your knees drop in towards each other. If that's not comfortable for you, maybe go ahead and do some windshield wipers, dropping your knees to one side and then over to the other side. And I did want to mention, while I'm here, maybe we'll hold that thought. Like I said, maybe some windshield wipers would feel good right now. Our low back likes to volunteer for a lot of things we do not want it volunteering for. That's why it's so important to also have strong abs. All right, come to stillness. Roll over onto one side. Slowly go ahead and push yourself up. I have one last move for us. And if you've been running for any amount of time, you have no doubt heard of these, but I want to go back to that thought that I said I would hold for a second. I am not, I always have a disclaimer on my videos, but I want to say this one, especially for this one. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a physical therapist. I'm not a chiropractor. I know, some about anatomy, but I'm not an anatomy, specialist. So if any of these poses are painful, stop. Don't do them. If you have an active current injury, ask your doctor first. Please, please, please. The last thing I want to do is make any injury worse or cause an injury. In general, these are pretty safe moves, but if you have an active injury, you have to protect yourself. I'm not there to look at you. I'm not there to see how you're reacting. Okay, lecture over. So, our very last move, slowly come up to standing. Grab your band if you have one, resistance band. Like I said, you can tie it together. Go ahead and step one foot into it, and then the other. And I want it around your ankles. It doesn't really matter if it lays flat or not. There we go. But there we go. And we are going to do what's called sometimes simply banded walks. And they're also called monster walks. And I think if you do enough of them, you'll know why they're called monster walks. So you want all 10 toes facing forward. And you want to come down slightly squatting position, making sure your knees are not over your toes, as always. And then you're just going to step out, pressing against that band, and step in. Step out, press in. Great exercise for your gluteus medius. That is a muscle that keeps your pelvis in balance and stabilized. And that is what, as runners, we all want. So this is a move that I'm going to say you could easily do every single day. One of the articles I read when I was researching information for this practice was you might want to do this twice a day. And of course, there are different resistances for resistance bands. Always start out at the least resistance. This is probably my medium band, I think. I have several kinds. And if, like me, you've become to come up more into standing, squat back down. You can get a lot more out of this if you're in a squatting position. And it may not feel like much now, but you may feel something in this tomorrow. You're welcome. Actually, you should feel something in this tomorrow if you're not familiar with this sort of thing. And just going back and forth. And your partner, your significant other, can always look at you and say, "What are you doing?" And you can say, "I'm strengthening my gluteus med." And that should shut them up. Or maybe not. Okay. We're going to do a couple more times. And then I think we are all done. Well, one more to whichever side you're going to. This way. And then last time to the last side. Remember to squat down. And you can just go ahead. Step out of your band. I'm sure you loved your monster walks. Now you know why they're called monster walks if you're not familiar with them. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is something you can do right before a run, like I said. You can do these 3 exercises pretty much every day. And it doesn't have to be right before a run either. If you're including this in your week, several times a week, it's really going to help with your whole glute strength and pelvic bowl levelness, if that's a word, and also your push off. So this can help prevent injuries. It may help you get faster. Make no promises on that. I hope you enjoyed this practice. Maybe you didn't actually enjoy it, but perhaps you realize that this is something that you need in your life. I hope so. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you like this video, go ahead and click like. And if you want to know when more videos are added to this channel, go ahead and subscribe. And if you're going out for a run this morning after this, have a great run. Thanks so much for joining me.